But my secretary came to work, one of them, a little Asian lady, about 26 years old. And she looked like she was, like I did when my dad was being a little bit of a wise guy. And I said, what's wrong? And she says, well, you know, I had a relationship with a guy. He told me he was going to Las Vegas on Friday. That was Monday when she came to work. He comes back, he just called me this morning. I said, have a good time with the guys, I'll talk to you Monday. He calls her up the day she was feeling depressed, and he says, what happened in Vegas? Oh, I had a good time. Yeah, great. Well, what else? Oh, I got married. I said to myself, geez, you know, what is this? I mean, she was at her desk, so I said, would you like to come in my office? There were tears coming down her eyes. And so we go in there, and I say, Angela, you know, there are such things as idiots in this world. And better to know it now than later. But what do you really want to do with your life? She said, I want to be a medical doctor. And I said, well, don't you think you ought to try doing that before you go into, you know, broken-hearted relationship stuff too deep? She said, no, I'm too old. And I said, well, tell me more. She said, well, I live with my brother and sister. We rent the apartment, co-share the thing, and then I don't really have a lot of financial strength. Well, what about mom and dad? Yeah, mom and dad, the reason we're all living together as siblings is because mom and dad are kind of like impossible. So I said, well, let me give you a little piece of advice. As a woman, you're entitled to your dream. And if you fall in love with a man that doesn't care about your dream, you've made a mistake. So a man that loves a woman will give a woman everything that her dream desires when it comes to her professional talent as well as any other thing. But professionally, you never get in the way of another person's desire to do something. So I said, so what do you want to do? And she said, I want to be a medical doctor. I said, oh. So where'd you go to school? Did you start to prepare for it? She said, yeah. I said, went to Cal State LA, the school I graduated from. I said, what did you take? He said, I was my biology major. I said, okay, Angela, what do you want to do now? She says, I don't know. I said, well then, can I be fatherly? She says, okay. I said, would you do me a favor? Not yourself. This is not about you. This is about just me being fatherly. Do you have any more classes to take? I said, I got one more to take. I said, what is it? He says, chemistry. I said, would you go back to Cal State LA, take the chemistry class, and then come back when you're through, and we can finish this conversation in a better way. So she goes back, takes the chemistry class. 4 months go by, the quarter system over there. We go to the office, sit down. I says, how did you do? She says, I did. I finished the class, and I'll graduate. I didn't even ask her earlier, what's your grade point average? So I decided I better ask that. It's an important question since I'm so dumb. And I said, what's your grade point average, Angela? 4.0. I said, oh, geez, now we're really serious. So I says, okay, Angela, now let's start writing the letters and let's apply to the medical schools. Can we do that? She says, yeah, we can do that. And one thing about being the sheriff of Los Angeles County, even here, because I write a lot of letters for people who want to get their kids here, this school reads my letters. They're not sure what's in it, right? You know, it might be a subpoena or something, who knows? But so we wrote, I wrote the letters to Stanford, USC, UCLA, and a school back east, I can't remember. She got accepted by USC and UCLA and the school back east. Today, she's a doctor practicing at Cedars Hospital. She actually chose UCLA because of the price. But you see, that's influence. When you can catch a person in their lowest point and give them not emotional empathies, that's important, but give them a path where you can match their talent with their vision for who they are. To this day, now we don't talk much, you know, I mean, this is she was a secretary. She gave up her whole dream. She fell in love with a jerk. She had all kinds of things that were in the way of this dream. But what finally it took was just someone who had faith in her talent. faith in that idea that you're bigger than what your pain is. You have to be something for you before someone can love you for all that you are.